in Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis says some things that got me to thinking about false comfort, comfort that doesn't hold up because it's not founded in truth. I want to read something. He says, of course, I quite agree that the Christian religion is, in the long run, a thing of unspeakable comfort, but it does not begin in comfort. It begins in the dismay I have been describing, and it is no use at all trying to go on to that comfort without first going through that dismay. Let me stop right there. Because earlier on, he talked about the dismay, the discomfort of a realization. I'll say sin. That's not necessarily the language that he uses, but the problem that we all must wrestle with. He's talking about a law that has been given, and that there is this lawgiver behind that law. And that law says that something is wrong with us, and there's a standard that we have no way of living up to, but that the lawgiver provided a solution to the problem. And we know him as Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah that was sent. And C.S. Lewis, in a nutshell, is basically saying, unless we wrestle with that, unless we come to terms with that discomfort of understanding that there is no way to ultimately fix the things that are going on inside of us and with our lives, until we do that, there is no use in even trying to seek out some of these other things. But listen to him. He goes on to say this: in religion, as in war and everything else, comfort is the one thing you cannot get by looking for it. If you look for truth, you may find comfort in the end. If you look for comfort, you will neither get comfort or truth. Only soft soap and wishful thinking to begin with, in the end, despair. Just listen to some of the things. Just think about him saying, if you look for, if you seek out truth, you may get comfort in the end. One of the things that I've learned in walking with the Lord is that sometimes we find comfort in the truth. This is what I mean by that. First, in this process, right, of seeking out what's really going on, getting to the bottom of it. And it could be trauma in your life. It could be some of the decisions that you've made. Even just trying to understand why certain things hurt and trigger you, and why do you have some of these continued cycles in your life of repeating things that you know are harmful to you and to other people in your life, whatever the case may be. But it's getting to the bottom of it and coming to the realization of those things can actually bring us comfort if we wrestle with those things and we allow God to bring some kind of healing in our lives. See, we don't try to skip steps. We don't try to take a shortcut and bypass truth and understanding and clarity on things and try to get straight to, I want to be comforted, because that's the type of comfort that doesn't hold up. He calls it soft soap, right? It's the type of thing that looks a certain way, but it's just not sustainable. He says, you will neither get comfort or truth, only soft soap and wishful thinking to begin with, in the end, despair. Right? See, some of the things, right, and in this context, he's talking about comfort, but some of the things that we try to take shortcuts towards, they look a certain way. They give us that false sense of not only comfort, but a false sense of joy early on. We're excited. We feel good about this particular thing, but he talks about in the end, it's going to lead us to despair. And here's why: because it's not founded on the truth. As Christians, as students of Jesus, as his disciples, his apprentices, as people that live according to his ways and his standards and his teachings, what we do is founded on the truth. At least it should be. Now, that's not to say that throughout our lives, as we now walk in this new life with Jesus, there are going to be some things that are pointed out by the Holy Spirit that it's not operating according to his ways. And it is in those times of discomfort, as we wrestle with handing some things over, or even tearing down some of the things that have been established in our lives, we can then, I want you to hear me, we can then allow truth to be laid down as a foundation in that area, and then we can continue to build things up in that area of our lives. Because that false sense, which is going to crumble in our hands, it leads to despair. See, when you realize that shortcut you took didn't give you what you were looking for, and you chose to say that I can do this without the Lord, and I can handle this myself, and I don't need all of that. You know what? That's fine. That's okay. Ask yourself this question, and I want you to be honest, because we can look at our nation right now here in the U.S., where under the guise of comfort, we have allowed a society to just do whatever it wants to do. Don't question if something is right or if something is wrong. It's what I want. It feels good to me. I have convinced myself of it in my mind, or whatever the case, however language you want to use. Ask yourself this question. The fruit of that is on display right now in the U.S., is it real comfort, or is it despair? Grace, mercy, and peace be with you.